Welcome to Spintown, everyone. Today you get a bonus video. I had a video already scheduled to upload and it's already out there, but then I found out they were testing Table Block today, so I need to get a video up of that showing the bugs and give basically a list of all the fixes that need to be made for the map, because this is the map I made. This map is my creation with the help of others. I basically did all the building, the idea was mine, the design is mine. But I had somebody else do the XML for me. Guy named, I'm going to mess up your Minecraft name, I can't say it. It's Niggy60? I'll put it in here. It's on the screen. That's his name. I don't want to say his real name. I don't know if that's public info. Before I would say that in the video, I'd want to, check first to see if it's okay. But yeah, he did the XML for me because I can't do any of that. I didn't know anybody who could do any of that. So the fact that he volunteered, really appreciate it. There's tons of issues with the XML right now, still bugs everywhere, but still, this wouldn't have gotten this far without him. So big thanks again. And this video is basically just to point out some of the flaws or some of the things that need fixing with the map that hopefully he can fix, or maybe Distraction will be willing to fix. I don't know, because he's the reason that we're able to test this right now. Distraction came online one day when I was on and messaged me and offered to test the map and maybe clean it up. I can't remember if he said he'd help with the XML or not. I'll have to check on that. But even just doing the testing like this, big thank you to Distraction, because it allows me to see how much work still needs to be done and see the issues that need fixed. So if Distraction isn't going to help with it, I can get the, Niggy60 to see the issues that are still in this map and maybe get it fixed. So big thanks to both those guys. I mean, you guys have probably seen some of the issues. I mean, I'm not really watching the video too much right now. This was obviously recorded after the video, the audio is. But one of the big problems is the monuments are big obsidian and bedrock squares that are in the ground. You actually have to break the obsidian and fall into the monument to get the wool. Now, you only have to break one obsidian to complete the monument break. That's the good thing. But to get the wool, you have to get inside of it and then teleport you up into the hourglass, and you got to run all the way back across the map to your team side and place the wool. And people were able to break the obsidian on their own team's side. So the yellow team could actually break the obsidian and go into their own wool room, which is a big problem. And some people were breaking the obsidian and then getting stuck floating above the monument and they can't get out. So that's the biggest issue, is that needs fixed, but there's plenty of others. People are able to place blocks in places where they shouldn't be allowed to place blocks, like in the hourglass. When it teleports you out of the wool room, people were actually able to place blocks in there. That shouldn't be the case. And people also shouldn't be able to place blocks on the teleport platform. Because if you're on the yellow team and you fall into your own wool room, it's supposed to teleport you up to another platform, because you shouldn't be allowed to go in there. And people are able to break the wool on that platform. I mean, it's half bedrock, so they can't break that part. But they shouldn't be able to break any part of it, and they shouldn't be able to place blocks there either. So both those things need to be addressed. Let's see. I guess the wools worked correctly, the wool spawner, and people were able to win the game, so people were able to pick them up and place them. That's good. There was at least one person who spawned inside of a block at the start of the game, so spawn points might need to be looked at just to make sure that doesn't happen anymore. I don't know exactly how he's got spawn points set up. I think I told him where I wanted the spawn points, but I may not have specifically said coordinates, so that could be my fault there. I might not have been specific enough. So yeah, that guy's been stuck a while, and I think he stays stuck a while. Now, there's a couple ways you can get out of this. I think you could probably craft a boat and get out of it that way. Otherwise, you're gonna have to have somebody kill you, I guess. I wouldn't know how else to help him unless there's a mod who wants to teleport him out of there, but those are the only ways I can think to get out of that spot, since he's, I guess, floating in the air. He can't jump. And I think his teammates come over here and like cover him up with more obsidian to make him stuck even more. Let's see. What other problems did I see with the map so far? People were a little confused, I think, about where the iron was. And so maybe a sign or something right outside of spawn pointing to the red building, the Monopoly Hotel over there, because that's where the iron's kept. So just say iron and hotel, red hotel, with the arrow pointing that way. I should probably add something like that. And the iron inside the hotel is supposed to regen after, I don't know. I basically didn't give it a time limit, I don't think. I just said it was supposed to regen like on the map Green Hill Zone, the Sonic level that somebody made. So, and there's other maps that do that too, so it shouldn't be that foreign of a concept. You should guys, I'm sure, know what I'm talking about. So, yeah, the iron's supposed to regen. But at the moment, it wasn't. And a lot of people weren't even getting iron because I don't think they knew to go over there. It was just the people that were just kind of exploring the builds, I think, that found that kind of stuff. Let's see. Other issues. If you guys found issues with the map, if you're watching this video and you played, or if you're just watching and you see something you think needs to be fixed, comment below. Or comment in the forums over on the table block thread I made, because, you know, we need to know these things. I need to get these things fixed up, or it's just going to have no chance at getting ever used. I'm kind of limited to how much I can do myself because it's mostly XML stuff at this point, but still, we need to know before anybody can fix it. What else? Oh, people, when they broke the obsidian to the monument, it went into their inventory. We don't want that, and that's something I didn't mention to anybody, so I can't blame anybody other than myself. That's an oversight on my part there. I didn't really think about that, and there was a good suggestion by somebody in game too that the swords, I guess, you spawn with, when you die, they just need to be gone. They just need to disappear. So there's probably a couple other items I should maybe look into doing that with too. I have to look at the inventory list again that you start with, but that's a good idea because nobody likes when you just get random shit you don't want in your inventory. You run over where somebody died. So yeah, I need to probably look into that. Let's see. There's another good suggestion. I don't know if we'll end up using it, but somebody suggested that the obsidian changes to like gold after a while, because this might be a really hard map once the XML and everything is working. And I don't think I'd want to make it gold, but maybe changing it to something like an emerald, if that's possible, because that's, I mean, gold just like instant, you break it. I mean, that's so simple to go through. Emerald at least takes like a second. It doesn't take 2 seconds. It doesn't take long, but I'd like to at least make somebody take a little time to break in. I mean, that's still pretty easy to break an emerald just to get in. But that's not a horrible idea. I'd like to see the game tested a little bit more with the XML working to see if that's needed, though. Because it may not be that hard of a map. I don't know. We won't know until it's tested with everything working more. But that's a good idea. If it does end up being a really hard map down the road, I like that idea. And I also like the idea that somebody said in the chat that maybe the obsidian respawns after it's broken, maybe after 5 minutes. So if you break a piece of the obsidian and you die trying to get back with the wool, you know you can make another run at it real quick before that hole covers up. But eventually it will. So I like that idea too. But those are both ideas that I don't think we should mess with or implement until we get the XML working with the rules we have in place already. But those are both ideas I wrote down because I liked them. Let's see. What else? I wrote down some notes, but I think I've covered most of it that I wrote down. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm sure there's more, and that's why I want you to comment in the video or the forum, letting me know what else needs to be fixed, because I didn't actually play. I wanted to fly around, watch chat a little bit, and mostly watch game. I wanted to see where the obvious issues were, like this thing I'm looking at right here. That's the teleport platform. So if you were on the blue team and you went into your own, you tried to fall into your own wool room, that's where you would teleport to. And you should not be able to obviously put blocks on that because people will be teleporting into those. Let's see. I didn't see anybody comment on the small gap or the fact that there's just a pitfall under one of those pieces. Like if you were to dig down, I think 1 or 2 blocks, you just fall into the void. It's kind of like a little trap or Easter egg. It's not a fun Easter egg to get because you die if you don't know how to like catch yourself by placing a block on the wall. But yeah, I don't think anybody fell for that, or at least if they did, I didn't see them complain about it. I thought somebody for sure would complain about it. But I guess it's really not in the spot a lot of people would dig straight down in. Some people would, I'm sure, if they wanted to like dig down to the bottom and then bridge over, because I like to bridge over from the bottom on a lot of maps. Just out of the field of vision a little bit more, less chance of getting shot, I guess. But yeah, there's the iron. Doesn't seem to be regenning. Not a lot of people taking it either. See, I think I saw most of the power-ups were found. I don't know if anybody found the, I think it's a punch bow in the hippo poop. But yeah, if you dig into hippo poop, you will not only get your hands dirty, but you will find a punch bow, I think it is. But I think everybody else, I think all the other power-ups were found. I don't know if the Wangworthy was found either. That's not, I didn't see anybody with the gold sword. But if you find the Wangworthy, that's another one it's a hidden little power-up you can find. The greatest sword of all time. Lots of history behind that sword. If you watch Zach Scott's videos, his Minecraft videos, back when he was playing factions, you'll know where the Wangworthy came from and why it's such a glorious sword and trophy. And just thanking people for the feedback, basically, and telling them that I see lots of issues that they're pointing out and stuff. And thanks to everybody in game that we're playing, because I know that this map had tons of issues. You could have just stopped playing and said, "Screw it, this sucks," which it did. I admit it. Watching this is bad. It had to have sucked to have played. But thanks for testing it, giving the feedback, sticking with it, and hopefully it improves. Thanks again to Distraction for getting this test done, and anybody who might have helped him. I don't know if he had help behind the scenes or if anybody else is working with him, but anybody who had anything to do with it, thank you. To the guy Negus60 who did the XML so far, thank you. To Javier, to Jack, and everybody else, Anthony who gave me a little feedback previously, thank you all for what you did. It'd be great to see this working the way I had it envisioned just from the start. Whether it gets used or not isn't as important. I really like to be able to see things through from start to finish. And it's just really hard in a project like this for me to do, since XML is like, I don't understand it all. So I'm totally reliant on other people at this point, and that kind of sucks. But thankfully so far, there have been people in the community and friends of mine who have been nice enough to help out to get it along this far. But it looks like this game's about to end. And that's a good sign. At least it's possible. It's not nearly as hard as I thought it would be. I think it's going to be a really hard map when everything's done. Somebody said Nile V2, and I don't think it's going to be that bad, but yeah, it could be a really tough one. I could see this game going for an hour sometimes if people put up good defense. But anyways, that's it. You saw the test. You've seen as much of it as I have up to this point. I'm going to post this in the forums so everybody else can leave comments telling me what they thought of it and problems.